No one in the village ever spoke about Uncle Hurry's after he vanished. They only whispered his name when the wind howled through the old farmhouse at the edge of the forest, the one that had been boarded up since the night he disappeared. Mira had been 16 then, quiet and soft-spoken. Always the one people forgot was in the room. Hurry's had been the kind of man everyone trusted. He fixed fences, helped neighbors, brought gifts for the children. No one noticed the way his eyes lingered too long or how Mira always stepped back when he walked too close. The day he took her, no one heard her scream. The farmhouse walls swallowed sound like a grave. She spent days, maybe weeks, in that windowless room, where the clock had stopped ticking and the air smelled of rust and sweat. He spoke to her as if she were a doll, something that couldn't feel or think, and in his arrogance, he never noticed the spark that still burned behind her silence. Mira learned every creak of the floorboards, every weak hinge, every habit of the man who thought he owned her fear. When he left his key too close to her reach, she memorized the shape. When he fell asleep in the chair outside the door, she counted his breaths until they slowed. And one night, when the moon hid behind the clouds, she acted. They found the house a week later, silent, untouched. The police said there was no sign of a struggle, but they never explained the strange symbols carved into the wooden floor. They said the blood was animal blood, but no one ever found any animals nearby. Only Hurry's boots remained, neatly placed beside the door, and a smell of burnt metal that wouldn't fade. Years pass. Passé. Mira returned to the village, though she never spoke much. Her hair had turned white at the ends, her eyes colder than winter. She fixed up the farmhouse and lived there alone. Children dared each other to knock on her door, but none ever did twice. Some nights, villagers swore they saw lights moving in the fields, like candles floating through the fog. Others said they heard whispering, a man's voice begging for forgiveness, and a girl's voice answering softly, "You taught me to be silent. Now I'll teach you what silence feels like." When the wind blows from the forest, it carries that voice still. And if you listen closely near the old farmhouse, you might hear footsteps in the attic, 2 sets at first, then one, dragging. No one speaks of Uncle Hurry's anymore, but the house remembers.